Yes, that is it. That's why you were so shy and dismissive. I should have known. You are a priest devoted to the church, and you've never had a woman. But tell me, do you ever wonder what it's like to indulge in desires of the flesh? Such a pity you are a priest. Shut up. Shut up and let's fuck. Everybody cover their eyes. What Have You Done, Father is a mystery psychological horror game developed and published by Darkania Works. And Darkania Works is made up of one person who made this all by himself, and with that knowledge in mind, this game is really good. I would have enjoyed the game even if it was made by a small team, but the fact that it was made by one person makes this game even more impressive. The game itself takes place at a church in the 1940s, and you play as Father Matthias Martin, who, as the game's Steam page puts it, gets caught up in a web of forbidden desires and sinister events, as after giving into the sexual desires of a female named Marina that has visited him, he wakes up the next morning to find that she has been killed. In a panic, Matthias sets off to figure out the truth of how Marina was killed and who she really was.
I couldn't resist her charms. If only I weren't a priest. We could have been together, but I had to send her home. Marina? Marina? Hey, you need to wake up.
She's dead? Marina, that's not a good look for you. Like I said before, I really enjoyed the story in this game. I've always been a sucker for a good crime mystery, and I've always loved horror games, so a game that combines the two is right up my alley. I know this concept isn't exactly new, but I would love to have even more games like this that has more of like a mystery that you have to solve built into a horror kind of atmosphere. In this game, the twists and turns the story takes were so good and so unexpected at times that it left you on the edge of your seat wondering what was going to happen next. I thought the graphics of the game were pretty good. Some of the characters' faces sometimes looked a little off at times, but other than that, the rectory itself looked beautiful, and the dev did a great job with the atmosphere of both inside and outside the rectory. The game will take you about 1.5 to 2 hours to complete, depending on how lost you get trying to find what you need to find to push the story forward, and it's currently about $7 on Steam. They did have a sale, but last time I checked, it was $6.99. You may not think that's a very long game, especially for the price, but compared to the $30 I just paid for the new Ninja Turtles game for 1 hour of gameplay, this one was a godsend, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it and thought it was worth the price. On the other side of things, one thing I do wish this game would have had more of is more horror elements. What they gave was great, but I feel like they could have added even more horror elements to really set you on edge and give you more of a creep factor. Maybe a couple of classic jump scares here and there to make you feel uneasy about what could be around every corner. The game also does have voice acting, but outside the cutscenes, you will have to read all conversations yourself. This didn't really bother me because I'm used to doing a lot of reading in indie horror games, but if that bothers you for whatever reason, keep that in mind. It probably would have been pretty cool to have some of these conversations voiced, especially the really important ones, but the developer came out and said that this was due to a small budget and it being a one-person dev team, so that is perfectly fair and understandable. Although that being said, the voice actor of Marina, or whoever voiced her in this scene, has some pipes on them. I have a spare tire. It's going to be a nightmare to change it. Oh, nice. I barely have the tools, but let's hope I can manage to do it.
Ooh, what on earth?
Oh, Lord. I put her in the chest, but she's alive? Where did I put the key? No! Sorry! Lady! Lady, hey, calm down! Gameplay-wise, the game is very much a walking simulator where you'll be doing a lot of walking around, talking to people, completing puzzles, and of course, solving mysteries. So keep that in mind going in. If you only like games with a ton of action or horror games with things chasing you or coming at you relentlessly, then this game may not be for you, but if you love a game that tells an engaging story with some horror elements and there are no enemies to stand in your way of your enjoyment, then this one will be right up your alley. In regards to the puzzles you will find throughout the game, I wouldn't say that they are that hard. Sometimes they're not even really puzzles at all, as you just go around finding items that you need, such as towards the beginning of the game, you'll have to find a tea kettle, the right kind of tea, and a lighter to make tea for Marina, which isn't much of a puzzle at all, but other times you have to do things such as figuring out the combination to a safe and other locks. So there aren't that many puzzles overall. This isn't like Poppy Playtime with puzzles at every turn. You could tell that this game was created to be a more narrative experience, and in that sense I think the dev really pulled it off. Now there are some collectibles that you will find throughout the game, such as pictures of previous fathers whose lives came to an end in mysterious and troubling ways, and also you will find magazines throughout the rectory that will sometimes have letters on them that give you more insight into the lives of other characters you will come in contact with. All of these collectibles were pretty interesting, and it gave more insight into the dark past of the church, and that kept me looking around for more during my playthrough. In the end, I thought the game was very good for what it was trying to do. It told an engaging story with many twists and turns, and all of the characters I found super interesting and sometimes menacing, and it left me trusting no one, which is something a good mystery should do. Graphically, the game was for the most part really good, and the few psychological horror elements that I did run into were really well done. And that is why I am giving What Have You Done, Father an 8 out of 10. This game easily could have been a 9, but I feel like there's some room for growth here, and I hope this dev is able to do that with their games in the future with hopefully a bigger budget. Because if this is what they can do on a small budget, I can't even imagine what kind of games they can pull off with even a slightly bigger budget, and I hope we will find out. But what did you guys think of the game? Did you like it more or less than I did? Let me know in the comment section below. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.